Hello and welcome to the good, the bad and the interesting. I'm Toby.
I'm Alex.
I'm Jack.
And I'm Adam.
We are discussing the topic of coronavirus or COVID-19.
Yes, we are.
What's it now? People calling it SARS-2, aren't they?
Well, shut up.
No, it is.
It just
No,
isn't.
it's
It just
It's
isn't.
SARS-CoV-2.
It's just not SARS though.
Well, it's not
SARS
SARS.
is respiratory.
That's a different thing.
Alright.
Fact check.
Go on,
Right, this
fact
has gone
check
up
it.
to a very
Okay, so
good
anyway,
start.
so my first question about the whole COVID situation is: Are you guys scared of the virus itself?
No.
Being 18, no.
I'm scared for grandparents.
Yes, I am
But not
scared
for-
for.
I'm more scared. Like, I mean, I've seen it on like social media and stuff, but I'm scared of how the world's like coming to a standstill. Over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is mad that like my mum and dad were saying, obviously they're older than us, but they've never seen anything like it ever.
No.
Like literally, we don't know. In 3 weeks' time, literally, you might not be allowed out your house. Like,
Well, exactly.
It could
Even
just
shorter than
shut
3
down.
weeks' time.
Is it the politician Rory Stewart?
I've absolutely no idea.
Well, he did an interview, and I think what he said was quite accurate. It's a once in 100-year sort of epidemic. You saw it with the Spanish flu after the First World War, and this is having a similar effect, but it's obviously very different because the world we live in now is much
Yeah,
different.
it's
We have
different, isn't
a lot more travel. The economy is far different. It's all interconnected to
You
the world.
rely on
Globalisation.
Well, the thing is, they're gonna.
Cool
They are.
theory.
There's no doubt about it. They're gonna talk about this virus for. I mean, especially in sport. I mean, sport got brought to a standstill in one day. Like over that one day, like the NBA got cancelled, Premier League got postponed. Don't know when that's going to
Formula
start
One.
again. Yeah, Formula 1.
Six
literally.
Nations shut down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that day of sport, it's like, it's put so many people out of a job at the moment.
Yeah.
I know most of them are rich anyway, but I mean, from like school and PE, when you're doing like history of sport, they will talk about that day for
Oh, yeah.
like that will be on the syllabus in like 20 years.
I mean, I might be wrong, but you could see in the near future, Black Friday that happened in the 20s when Wall Street just shut down. That could happen.
Well, 100%.
I mean, stock markets are down by 20 to 30%, which is
stock
ridiculous.
markets crashed by 3,000 and they're still going down.
Oh.
I mean, it's nearly worse than the recession like in 2010. I mean,
8.
Yeah.
2008, yeah. But I mean, it's just
It's like getting there, but the other thing is, so like the media's representation of it, is it worse than it
exactly.
actually is?
It's like when you say about the Spanish flu and stuff. What did they not have back then? They didn't have social media.
Yeah.
I mean, you get so many different stories. You talk about people, Iran. You talk about Canada, and
You
they're saying
get
they've got
idiots
vaccine.
calling it SARS-2.
Yeah,
To be
exactly.
Okay,
fair,
I promise you.
I've brought it up on the browser feed now. SARS-CoV-2.
That's the official scientific name of this
Is
thing.
the
COVID-2 is the
alternative for it.
disease. The actual virus is SARS-CoV-2.
Like, don't
Do you
even.
know what SARS is?
SARS, very acute respiratory syndrome.
Yes, this is not a respiratory syndrome.
Archie has been reading
You-
his Wikipedia.
you
I've been
can
reading my
get-
Wikipedia pages, boys.
But it's not a...
It's
not
the
a-
You're going to
official
change it to
Official science name is SARS. It's like
Conti 19.
CoV-2.
Like you say, but it's
Alright,
not. It's
alright,
like
whatever.
calling it
Anyway.
MERS as well. It's
Right,
just different.
okay, right.
No,
Passing
anyway,
that point,
no,
passing that
I was
point.
saying
It's not
anyway,
MERS CoV-2, is it?
I was saying with social media, sort of like we don't know where we're up to at all. You've got different people, different countries doing different things. Ireland shutting their schools for 16 weeks, and you're looking at different people saying Canada's got a vaccine, Iran's got a vaccine. They're doing human testing, they're doing animal testing. You don't know where you're up to at all, because on one platform they're saying 70% of the population are going to get infected,
Yeah.
and then on one platform they're saying in 3 months' time it'll all be gone because they're
Yeah.
doing human
Yeah.
testing. So
Some people are saying it's just going to be a repeating thing every year as well.
Exactly,
Like
but
like
we have
the
no
flu, every
idea.
year it comes
I mean,
back.
as it's a virus, it's difficult to do a vaccine because what you need
Yeah,
to do is you need
exactly.
to have an either dead version or a very weakened form, and then
And obviously it's
inject
So
it,
I think in Canada they've managed to finally isolate it, haven't they?
potentially.
That's
Yeah.
what, but exactly how do you know that you've only had that social
And there's
media?
so
That's a
much
good
fake
point.
news. There's a thing going around about how like aspirin and anti-inflammatories can worsen the effects of it, but that's never been proven by doctors. It's
Yeah.
fake. It's
Anyway,
classed as fake
I'm
news.
going to move
so-
us on. So my next question is, so I think right now in the UK we've got, how many deaths? We've got 50,
It's 36 now.
Yeah,
Is it
It's in the
36?
30s.
It's
36
only gone up,
deaths,
to
and
be
how
fair.
many infections?
Like it's gone up to
almost
1,000.
2,000, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I think.
one
I'm
and a half
saying so-
thousand today.
Yeah.
by the time
Jesus.
they're saying the peak is, which is what they're saying the peak's going to be in
10
June,
weeks?
June,
May,
July.
June, yeah.
Yeah.
How many sort of deaths by that time do you think there's
Actually,
going to be?
the problem is, well, what they're saying is not very reliable as the virus itself doesn't withstand heat very well. So when it's external and on surfaces, it denatures very quickly.
You say that, but you've got cases in Qatar and Spain still.
Well,
Strong.
yes, but they're because they picked them up from other countries. When it comes into contact on sort of surfaces, like the flu, you get more seasonal cases because it survives longer in the colder temperatures.
It's like China, it's hot there at the moment and they've had 8 new cases, but what they leave out is they've had 8 new imported cases. So people have come from around the world into China, which then raises the toll of people who have it, because they're in China when they found it, but they haven't got it in China. So even though it's hot there, they've got it in a colder place and come back to China, so it looks like the pole's rising. But anyway, how many sort of deaths and infections do you think you're going to get to in UK?
You can't really predict it, can you?
Yeah.
You can't predict the flu.
As a ballpark.
I think it's low, but it'll be all old people.
Yeah, the majority of the people who will die will be that 60 plus category.
And like young people. As well.
No,
It's not
young
really
people.
I
Young people are mostly alright. It's
Yeah,
like
I heard
respiratory
actually-
problems and like asthma and stuff that.
Well, there's a
and-
lot of people who
Autoimmune disease.
obviously you do say the
diseases.
obvious, the elderly, but there is a lot of people who do have respiratory problems who are our age. But
if they plan,
Like
so what they're
asthma.
planning, you've seen the curves that they're planning to hopefully hold it off, get more beds. In that case, people will be alright because they've got enough staff and enough.
But
beds to
personally,
hold
I do think in 2 weeks' time we're gonna see a spike.
Yeah,
And
I do think
it's going to keep getting
the
worse.
plan that they've come out with theoretically works in the UK. Postponing it so we don't have the sharp peak that you saw in China
it is worrying.
will
if that
be
happens.
better for the economy because you won't have everyone off at one time.
Yeah.
The people in hospital beds won't be all in there at one time.
Yeah,
It spreads it out over time.
Yeah.
But then that has a greater effect on your work life, your school life. Like for us, what's going to happen with the exams? What's going to happen with the universities? Are they going to open next year? Are they going to take everyone they've offered places
well,
to?
I know like there's a couple of unis, so a couple of people I know they've just been told they're not allowed back until September, so their course is shut down till September now in Liverpool.
And they've missed a massive chunk from their first year. Are they going to have a chance to redo that chunk?
Well, they're going to.
Or
They're
just
saying
gonna
they're
miss
doing,
it?
they're saying they're doing it online, so all the lectures are online. So whether or not the teacher's going to record themselves and live stream it, or just going to send over the work, but then it's not the best education, is it? Because you've got people who aren't as motivated to do it.
Well, this has happened
You've also
with
got
Ben's
people that
brother,
might
hasn't
have
it?
to,
He got sent
look
home
after.
just a few days ago. And he's,
Yeah,
when's,
I
he,
know.
when's he supposed to come
got
back?
sent home today.
Holly's come back.
When's he
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
come back this uni?
Because
Yeah,
Tori's
long
been
time.
sent home today, and she's been told that
Really?
they're not allowed to come back to uni until
And she
September.
only goes to Liverpool Hope, doesn't
No,
she?
exactly.
It's not even like a
But
massive
you've
uni.
also got the problem with like our school is saying if they close, they're going to put online classes on, and you're going to follow the same daily routine you would in school. But
I don't
if you
think
people
that's
like
feasible.
for me, like Kath as a doctor has been given emails saying you have to go in.
That's Toby's
You
mum,
have
by the
no,
way.
yeah. You have. My mum's basically said you have to go and you have no choice. You've got
Yeah.
to do work frontline on COVID. So she's going to be off all the time. I'm going to have to look after my sisters. Like,
What about your dad?
well, he's probably going to be working because he needs to get money as well.
That's a
doesn't
good point, yeah.
he? So I'm going to have to be looking after my sisters whilst following a full
There's
school
also
day, and it's
all
going to
the-
be hard to juggle, and that's going to have to be taken into account as
All
well.
the teachers being at home, they've got to look after their own
They
families.
teachers have to
Yeah.
look after their own
And then you look
families.
as well, the schools being open now. Say for example, I mean, there's 6 people who've been sent home from our school today
Yeah.
alone, and if
Some
it's
of them are
spreading
just
to,
idiots,
I know, but if it's spreading in schools, and then they have to go home into care if they live with the grandparents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the worry is, because they could lose their 2 carers by giving them
Yeah,
this
of course.
infection.
This does sound bad, but I think it's important most of the population do become
They
infected
need to
this,
get
At some
it.
point,
this
yeah.
year.
Everybody needs
Because-
to get it.
Having that will have the herd immunity, so there's less chance of it coming back in. So not everyone
Yeah.
needs to have the resistance to it, but then when there's enough
I'd
people,
quite happily be one of them people
Yeah.
who won't have to
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? I
Hoping
think
there's a
when-
vaccine next year, but
when there's
it is
enough
important.
people that have the sort of immunity to it, it has less chance of coming into the
Yeah.
country and having that same spike.
I think his plan is quite high risk, high reward. Because if it
It's
goes,
not
if it goes wrong,
really.
a lot of elderly people die. But if it goes,
But that's why they've told elderly
if-
people to self-isolate
exactly,
for
but
4
if-
months
but
because
if
they're
it
not
goes
exposed to
right,
it.
if it goes right, then I think that having like the yes,
Well, I've got the stats up on screen now, and
It's 14% for over.
although we say it's primarily it's looking more dangerous towards older people. Most confirmed cases, but on old people, if we look at up to the ages of 29, according to The Economist, no one's got it seemingly. So
Up to 29.
yeah,
Nobody
so
under 29 has it.
the bar's are tiny.
So
So-
it's significantly low.
Yeah.
Or
Or they just haven't
insignificant.
been confirmed yet.
Okay, that's still a chance, isn't it? Like, but yeah. The other thing I was going to say is I know Hodgie's big for stockpiling, but stockpiling, like what goes on
Stockpiling.
there?
What are your
Because
what are your views?
my
on
views are it's
buying?
just stupid. I mean, you buy what you need to buy, and you don't change your normal routine. Shops will still be open. You'll still be able to get
I think
things.
there's that balance of you need the food just in case. You
Yeah.
need long-lasting
Yeah.
food like
So-
pastas and
But instead,
canned foods
so-
just in case that the shops do shut for 2 weeks.
yeah.
But there's no need for
Yeah.
18
18,
bags of
yeah,
toilet
exactly. So
paper.
what our family have done is they've bought their normal shop, but they've cut down on fast perishables. So we've not got loads of like hams and stuff, and we've just got more like do you know what I mean? Like things that like run out quite fast.
Yeah, I
And
sort
we've
of
got
just,
more like tin stuff. So if we need it, we have it.
I think my view on it is
But
sort
we're not
of.
stockpiling.
I
Like,
understand
there's
there's
no
a
need.
lot of people in the country who are buying like 100 toilet rolls. I mean, that one's a little bit.
Stupid.
That's a bit like.
Crazy.
Is it called Stockholm syndrome when you don't just like copy people?
No,
No,
that's
no,
why.
no,
That's why you fall.
Stockholm
under
syndrome
the,
is where you
the person who's-
identify with like a kidnapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm a bit far off. Conformity. So you're conforming with people.
Yeah,
'cause they're
exactly.
just-
Yeah.
But
You're
it's,
seeing people do it, so you're like,
it's
oh
putting
wait.
you into a state of panic.
Like
Well, that's the
they've
thing,
bought
is it-
90 toilet rolls, and there must be a
I
reason
need
they
it,
bought
yeah.
90 toilet rolls, so I'm going to have to buy 100
Yeah.
because then I'll be in a safer position than them.
Yeah.
The thing is, the reason I would be not, I'm not for stockpiling. I just understand why people could do it.
what he said earlier.
It's not. I understand why people do it. Is because if everyone else is doing it,
But-
that puts you and you don't.
But
That
it's
gives
not
you
That's the
feel
problem.
selfish.
That's the problem we have. It's not
it's not everyone. It's the people
majority
who
that
are. I mean,
freaking out.
we're lucky because we're from a background where we can go out and stockpile. We can go out and buy food in advance. There's some
Yeah.
people who get their money and they use that to go and buy the goods to then feed their family when they get
Yeah.
their money. I mean, I can't say that I haven't stockpiled. I mean, I haven't stockpiled, but I've gone out and I've bought as a family, we've bought like a kilogram of rice from Costco. We've bought pastas.
That's just enough to get you through a possibility of closing. So everybody's done that, but it's the people that are going and buying stuff for like a year. I mean, it's
I don't
stupid.
underst-
You
I
wouldn't
don't-
go through it.
I mean,
But it's because they're panic buying. They're panicking, thinking, "Shit, this is it,"
The one that
and they're
I'm
just
gonna,
buying whatever they can.
the one that I'm going to struggle without petrol will be difficult because you won't be able to get anywhere. But it's milk.
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 Because
Milk, you're having everything. Your teas, your coffee.
just
Yeah.
get that powder
Get
stuff.
UHT or
how the
milk,
milk though, is it?
Well, like
Yeah.
what we've done because we've got a bread maker, so instead of going out and buy, I mean, we've got a couple of loaves in the freezer.
Yeah, we've put 2
Just
loads in the
happened.
freezer.
But we've got like 9 different, so it's like 50p from Aldi, and it's like a bread mixture. You just put it with water in a bread maker and it makes you a fresh loaf. So we've
Yeah,
got
exactly.
like 9 loaves of bread.
You can potentially have, but like it's fine to have stuff to get you through a possible 2 weeks of shutting
But
all
you don't.
shops.
You
or-
say 2 weeks. How
but-
do you know it's not going to be? How do you know it's
Because
going to be?
because
it
if,
could be 4
if
months.
they put it as longer, they'd open shops or delivery services to your house. So you do not need that much, but people are still buying enough for that.
But
long.
if they open
So
don't-
delivery
it is all
services, how-
speculation.
I just
people
don't,
come and literally deliver a bag to your house.
just leave it outside.
They just leave it. Nobody come. You don't come into contact with anybody.
Well, like our meals.
That's how
for-
China
well,
are doing
For our
it.
meals, we don't go out and buy our meals. We get something called Hello Fresh in, which is
Yeah.
like it's a box of your ingredients of 5 meals for the week. Because my mum got it so I can encourage to cook before I go away. So I cook the meals, but what we do is we get pre-packed food. I mean, it's all fresh. Like you all get your fresh vegetables and everything. They get delivered to your door, and you've got your meals for the week. And we've still got that. So like
Yeah.
we don't need
It's
to
just
go
if
out
that
and do the whole.
stops.
Yeah.
It's
If
like
that
the
stops,
problem.
yeah,
Like,
it's a little bit worrying.
you just need, and all you need is the only. I do even think if they close for 2 weeks, they'd still have shops open or some sort of.
I mean, you do
service,
say
but-
that, but if, say, for example, now you were working in Tesco's as a cashier, would you feel comfortable if Tesco's went, well,
No, but
everyone's
there
off,
are
but you
people
should
that
stay
have. There are
open?
people that need the money. There are people that really need the money for their family and will go and do the job.
Yeah,
and
but
there
if
are
you're
people
forced
that,
on
that are
isolation,
forced. There are people that are
Yeah.
forced to do the.
what are you going to do?
Yeah, if you're, but there's in China there is like a way set out for.
Well,
people
China
to
now
deliver.
it's really died down over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it did. I mean, don't get me wrong. It went through a terrible situation. People just dying in the streets.
think you
But
can't-
I don't know how effective that's going to be because they've gone, here's your 2 weeks, everyone get out, stay by yourselves. But if not everyone's infected and they come back into
Back
contact
next
with
year,
it,
yeah.
Yeah, then they're going to need
they
to
could
Well, not
see-
even
they
next
could
year,
see
even
a
when the
spike,
isolation period
the
is
exact
finished.
same as
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
they've just gone through.
But for a
Right,
second
I think.
time.
Do you want to move it on? My next question on coronavirus
Go on.
is, I mean, this question is sort of already coming into play, but not so much in our country. How's it going to be controlled? Obviously, we're in the delay phase now.
Mhm.
But what do you think? I mean, we'll go round. What do you think the government is going to do to control it, and how long do you think them things are going to be put in place for?
I personally, I mean, they're already putting 4 months on old people to stop them coming into contact. I think schools will be closed either end of this week or next week because there's so much pressure from people.
What's the date?
And I already know what's
16th
of March.
So I think like even people are saying by Wednesday, by 2 days' time, it will be done. But there's so much pressure on the government to close schools because everybody else has done it. So it's another one of those panic things. But parents I know are pulling kids out of school. I know kids from our school that have been pulled out. And they will close, and if they don't close, next to no one will be coming in. So I think that's their next stage. Will close it, and then a 2-week isolation where everybody has to stay in their house.
So everyone
for 2 weeks,
Tesco
just to delay
everything.
No, you can commute. They'll do the same as China. You can commute to work,
so you still
and you can commute to the shops, but they won't do. Do you know what I mean? Like people can still work to get money, but you don't have to. You're not forced to work, apart from if you're doctors.
But do you get paid leave?
Sick leave. Well, that's what they're talking about. They don't know. They're trying to. So if you've seen Jeremy Corbyn's written a letter to Boris Johnson about immediate sick pay leave and raising it for people that are off ill. So he's trying to get that done, but
that's just politics.
Whether it'll happen, it's all kind of.
Jeremy Corbyn will oppose anything Boris Johnson does.
Exactly. I think the problem is nobody knows. Nobody knows.
The leader of the opposition, he's got
with politics, whether it's Conservative, Labour, Lib Dems, you can't necessarily trust everything.
No, and nobody knows what will happen next. In fact,
it's very easy for
meeting.
Very easy for someone who's not in power to
criticise. What they should.
I mean, I could quite easily say, well, I think everyone who's off ill should get paid straight away because they're scared to come in. But for people who are running businesses, then.
Well, look at this. So the BBC has delayed over 75 TV licence fee changes.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like until August because of it, and so everybody's trying to help and are trying to do them. Oh God, does that mean? I mean that's Hello Magazine, so it says David Beckham's
been
got
infected.
Coronavirus. I mean, Hanks have everything.
Tom Hanks was the first, wasn't he? Tom Hanks was the first big celebrity to really get this thing.
Who do you reckon's the first celebrity who's going to die?
Right,
to be honest, that's just like.
I mean,
I don't know if they. I don't.
You know who I think?
See
you know who I think is at risk purely because of his age, and this is just someone who comes from David Attenborough. He is ancient.
I just read your mind. That's quite cool.
You did.
Right, there you go. So what's been put out?
I would high five you, but you probably have the
coronavirus. Their strategies left too many questions unanswered.
So what? David Beckham's got it.
Well, apparently, but that's Hello Magazine. It's like there's so many lies.
Yeah,
but I think basically
you read the Sun as well.
Exactly. Well, the point is like
never touch the sun.
No, the point is though is like nobody knows like what they do is like will be out of the blue. Do you know what I mean? Like.
So Al, what do you think?
Yeah,
so I mean to be fair, Toby's covered it, but now I mean I'll ask you, how long do you think it's going to last? Obviously, there's been a precautionary thing in some countries of let's close school for 2 weeks, and if they did that now, we'd get 4 weeks off because you've got Easter as well, which would be it would be good, but. Realistically, so even things like Premier League, when do you think all that's going to come back?
So I think the mass gatherings are going to stop until I don't think they're going to come back this year.
No.
I think the Euros is going to have to be postponed to 21. I think if they do plan on finishing this Premier League season, they're going to have to play through the summer and start the next season later on, say October, gives them a break. Because I think it should be finished. And I mean, I'm not a Liverpool fan, so I'm not sat here saying
it doesn't really matter even if you're a Liverpool fan or not. From terms of a football fan, if you look at it, finished. I mean, you look at it from Liverpool's point. Obviously, we've had a great season as a team, and we're top of the league by 25 points. But it's not necessarily about Liverpool. It's about the
safety
at the bottom of the
everybody.
I mean, at the bottom of the I'm talking about like the teams in the teams in the league. If you look at them players who the clubs are in like the bottom of the relegation, the money they lose out on if they go out the Premier League. So say if they just they stopped it now, and the positions was your positions, they'd lose out on. It's unimaginable some money.
How much if a team goes down from Prem?
How much they lose out on?
200 million.
But like
no. How much do you reckon they'll lose?
Like in a season, like.
Oh, but they lose loads because it's like.
Obviously, all the TV licensing, sponsorships, they lose a lot of.
So, but would they?
Ticket prices
the thing
on
is,
sale
though, is if they just stop the season now. Would they say, right, Liverpool win, you guys are relegated?
But what they're
or
talking
would
about,
they just restart the season?
What they're talking about doing is starting the season but bringing up having 2 extra teams in the Premier League, so the league below, the 2 who are in the
Two
automatic,
automatic come
they're
on.
going to let them come up. And
But
then,
not let the others go
But then
down.
you're going to have, like, then I mean, you have to have 5 teams relegated.
Or 4 and then 4.
On 4 and 4, yeah. But it's a process that it'd affect, like, the sort of the regularity.
It
and
has like a
football
knock-on
league.
effect.
Do you
doesn't
reckon,
it?
that, do you reckon that
It's
there's
like,
any chance that
are
they
you
just
gonna
start
keep it
next
that amount?
season clean slate, pretend this season never happened, everybody's in the same
think-
place?
I
and see
think-
what
I think
happens?
that would be unfair. I think that honestly,
you're too far through the season to do that now.
The fact
I also
that-
think that it would be unfair on Liverpool fans. They've never won the league before. This is the first time they've like.
Yeah, but put that aside. Put like personal things aside. I think it would just be wrong to cancel a season.
You can't.
Yeah.
The only times the season's really been cancelled is for the war. I
But
mean, you're
this,
looking
like,
at.
yeah,
But you're
exactly.
looking at. I mean,
But even
obviously
with the
I'm-
war, the world didn't come to a full-on
But
standstill. Do you know what I mean?
I'm
Like, this
biased
is
because
weird.
obviously I'm a Liverpool fan. All we need to do is play one. If we beat Manchester City, then we've won the league. We only need to win one more game against City, and then we've won the league.
And would they play that game and just see how it turned out?
Well,
If
I-
they
I-
win, they win. That's
It's
it.
too dangerous, isn't it?
No, but with
Hasn't
no
one of the-
crowd or-
Hasn't one of the
No, no,
City
but
players
a lot of
themselves
the-
been
it's
confirmed
that's the
positive?
reason. It's the
What the
players.
teams
are
And they
there.
travel abroad a lot and they meet a lot of people from abroad.
Yeah.
So I think
So,
hasn't one.
but-
I
but
mean,
my
the Arsenal
problem is-
manager's
Arsenal
positive.
team's been smashed with it. There's been so many
Arsenal
times.
manager's
I was at
positive.
the Atletico game, and I mean there was a big chunk of Atletico fans. We gave them more room than we usually give teams in the Champions League to come over, and they came over obviously from Madrid. Well, they might not all have, but
Which has been heavily affected.
Madrid
when they
has been
came, when they
smacked
went
by this
back,
thing.
it spiked up so much
Mm.
more. So I'm thinking, our cases are still low down, but they must have been in contact with so many places in Liverpool, all them people. I mean, obviously most of them.
You won't. The problem is you won't see things for a week to 10
Yeah.
days.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
because it's still not. It's still
You're
not been 2
asymptomatic
weeks since-
for a
it's still
week,
not been
aren't you?
2
About
weeks.
5 days.
It's not been 14
They say
days
5
since
days
the
is the
Liverpool game,
average,
so you
isn't
don't know yet. Like there's no way you can know.
Mm.
But
Of course.
now on my view, I sort of think that you can make all these guesses and stuff and say, oh, schools could be closed for 2 weeks, they could be closed for 4 months. You don't know; they could be closed for a year. You have no
Yeah.
idea.
No, exactly.
I mean, Northern Ireland saying it's
It
going to be
depends-
6
it
or
depends
whatever
if
it
it
is.
gets
It's going to be
better or not,
16.
Well,
isn't it?
I'm going to America for uni in the 20th of August, and I mean that's sort of they're saying that's 2 months after the peak. That's when
Yeah.
the country said they're going to have a peak.
Would they open their borders again? Would they
Actually,
open flights?
Ads.
What would be the? I have no idea.
Don't you
But
have?
then lots of people
don't you
will be
have
in the same
status as like
position.
a permanent resident there?
I
Not as a
know.
permanent resident.
Not as a
as a
permanent
visa.
resident.
I don't know
right.
for America, but I know in the Middle East and Qatar they've got their borders shut until September. They rushed my dad out of Sri
A lot of
Lanka
people-
back into quarantine. Every overseas person who's trying to come back in, they've rushed them back in, and they've shut the borders till September.
Because like I presume a few people will be in your position as well, so
Well,
they'll
also
take
you've got to
that
think about
into
the kids who are like me
consideration.
over there, the people who were like gone from England to America for uni,
and
and then
back
they're in
Yeah.
uni now. But I'm.
they've got nowhere to go if uni's closed.
And also you've got
everything, like,
you've got your money for your set times while you're out there. But
Yeah.
what happens for the extra time you're out there now?
exactly.
for food
I mean,
and-
surely your parents would send you stuff, but
No, I
if-
know. But
what
if you
they
don't
can't.
have if you don't
if you
have the
don't
money,
have them, if they can't,
if you've
you're
got a set budget for your child,
well, exactly.
you-
I don't know. It's hard.
The only
isn't it?
problem,
Yeah.
the only thing I see with America is I don't see them physically able to close their borders for that long.
No, because like the nature of America.
We saw what they did. They tried to close the borders off to Europe, but not the UK because they know where their business is.
Yeah.
Haven't they closed it to UK now?
They have now.
They have now, but you look at like Donald Trump as because he's a
businessman.
businessman, and I mean
He tried to keep it open.
Well, I was
he
watching
won't
this
let
on-
if he doesn't think the threat is serious enough, which is why as soon as they've closed, he's now declared it a national emergency because he's trying to get it dealt with as quick as possible. He doesn't. I would say he doesn't necessarily care about. I mean, he cares about his people, but he doesn't necessarily care about them to the point where he just wants it to get rid of, doesn't he? He just doesn't want it to. He doesn't want it to be a thing anymore, so he can get the
Yeah.
business back into his country.
Well, I was watching an interview where someone was saying so like an Italy-style lockdown wouldn't work for America because as a people they really value like their freedom, don't they? Or like their perceived freedom.
Well, yeah.
So being told they can't leave their houses
It
wouldn't
wouldn't
sit
do it,
well with the American people. Whereas
I do genuinely think the system that the UK have proposed would work better than the other ones that are currently in use.
You can't take it away from our country. We are really good with our healthcare and, and how we sort of
love the NHS.
we take our way around it. I mean, you look at America again on the healthcare standstill. I mean, you're looking at $3,200 for one night if you've taken sort of a coronavirus test, you've stayed in a bed. I mean, they're trying. I mean, the fact that they're trying to get that legislation so if you've got a coronavirus test, it's free. I mean, they shouldn't have to try and do that. They should just
do it.
You should just be able to say, okay,
Yeah,
that is free.
but the way the American system works, you're not going to pay your doctors, and if that's just free, that
No,
they
I mean,
get
for
their
the-
money from
for
the private healthcare. So
for
making
the
it
coronavirus
free.
test, because what's happening in the US now is their cases will. It might be a certain number, but who's to say the 40% of people who aren't insured on their healthcare system? Who's to say that 50% of that 40% doesn't have it? So that's an extra sort of 20 million people who you don't know about because they can't afford to pay £3,000 for a night.
Yeah, I get that, but then you're taking away the salary of the doctors and the nurses and the healthcare
But then
professionals.
they could
they're
potentially,
not
just
gonna
for
go-
this small period, work for free for Corona, just because
Like obviously still
out of
get
decency
how
to
they
try.
gonna live.
yeah, but they'll still get
Like
money.
they
for,
still get other people.
not
coming in
every
and
single
paying,
person
but-
going into hospital is coming into hospital with coronavirus.
Yes, but when there's this whole epidemic, if you had, let's say, a sporting injury, you tore, you had some soft tissue damage in your arm from golf, and you knew there were going to be lots of people in a hospital with coronavirus, would you risk going in?
No.
A little bit of breaking news on the sporting front.
What's up?
So this is in Formula One terms. A Pirelli team member who Pirelli basically design every single tyre and manufacture every single tyre that goes on the cars has now been tested positive for coronavirus in the past few minutes.
So what's that mean?
So basically, very short catch up. So the first few rounds of the Formula One Grand Prix season this year has been cancelled, completely postponed. We don't know when it's going to be rescheduled.
Probably quite good.
As one team member from the team was found positive, and now obviously that's expanded to the tyre manufacturer. And the Formula One is in a lot of jeopardy at the moment because obviously, likewise for football, we don't know what's going on.
It's just hard. It's just like this. Mick Banker said this morning. It's a time of uncertainty, isn't it? I mean,
we're seeing
Full
it.
of
We're
speculation.
seeing the effects of it now on like a local level. Like our school play's been cancelled. That was on 2 weeks time.
It was starting on Saturday.
Starting
this
this coming Saturday. Our school play was supposed to start. It's like like 6 kids have been sent home from school today. Was that just this week?
I think
No,
it is.
that's
There's,
today in our
Today.
school.
there is a sort of scaremongering thing around it as well. It's just.
I mean, anybody with a cough, you don't go anywhere
I
near.
mean,
Well,
it.
I think people.
Can you
people
remember?
have-
Can you actually? I'll put this. Can you remember life before coronavirus?
No, not really. Like
Yeah,
what did we talk about
No,
before
no,
this?
like I'm saying.
Well, the 18
3
years
months
before, right?
ago, this wasn't a thing, and now
Wait,
it's.
wait for that.
3 months ago, this wasn't a thing, and now, I guarantee you, I would put £1,000 on it. You will not be able to go one day in the next 7 days without hearing the word coronavirus.
Next 7
Oh,
days,
crazy.
next 7 weeks.
But I mean,
It's the new Brexit.
It is.
It is.
Everyone
I
loves
think
getting scared.
Everyone knows, for the majority of people, it's not that dangerous. There is, that's just irrefutable. You know that it's not that dangerous to most people. What
is it? 3%.
what they're trying to
mortality
do,
rate.
yeah. Well, I mean that's higher than most. So a 3% mortality rate is quite high. With the flu, is about 0.5. I think Spanish flu was about 2%.
All I'm gonna say, is imagine if they recorded and crashed.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's like everyone always says like a 3% mortality rate is like tiny, right? And like if I gave you now like 100 Skittles and says right,
Oh, someone's
Right.
been looking at me on Instagram.
three of them will kill
me.
you. Right, you give me 100 Skittles, 3 of them will kill you. Do you eat
Yes.
any Skittles?
Yeah, but all I'm gonna say to you,
3 of them will kill you.
don't even try.
No,
Don't
sorry.
try and tell me that I'm making this up on the spot.
No, I know. I saw it on
Alright,
Instagram
okay,
earlier.
anyway.
I saw it on Instagram earlier.
Anyway, I
I would
think
just like to close on the fact that a global pandemic is not a bag of Skittles, Hodge.
that's a good point.
Yes, of
Okay,
course.
so as you heard, the bell has gone. So
The bell has in fact
that is
gone.
all from.
I
That's
think
us.
All to say is don't stockpile.
Don't
be
stockpile.
selfish.
Don't be too afraid.
Wash your
Think
hands.
about,
Wash your
think
hands.
about others. Think about the elderly.
Yeah,
but We'll
exactly.
leave it
Yeah,
there.
of course.
And
We'll
just
leave it
get-
there and we'll see you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you very much.